Good morning, dear students. Today, from Value Education, we are going to see the explanation for lesson number 2, My Teacher, My Guide. Okay, so how a teacher is a guide in our life that we are going to see. Now, this is the story of a Helen Keller and her teacher. Before this, have you heard a name Helen Keller? Okay, if no, let's see who was she. She was the first blind and deaf person to earn a Bachelor of Arts degree in America. हेलन केलर या अशा एक व्यक्ती होत्या ज्या आंधळ्या होत्या आणि ज्यांना ऐकायला येत नव्हतं तरीसुद्धा त्यांनी बॅचलर्स ऑफ आर्ट्स BA ची डिग्री घेतली अमेरिकामधून. शी वॉज अन ऑथर अँड अ लेक्चरर. Means she was giving lectures and even she was writing a book. So she was author and a lecturer. She wrote a book called The Story of My Life. As she was the author, which book she has written? The Story of My Life. She has written a story of her own life. In this book, she wrote, the book says, on 3rd March 1887, it was the most important day of her life. Which day was very important in her life? It was 3rd March 1887. It was very important day of her life because that was the day when she met her teacher. Whom she met? She met her teacher on 3rd of March 1887 and her teacher's name was Annie Sullivan. Okay, so the morning after their first meeting, when Helen Keller and her teacher Annie Sullivan they met, she gave Helen Keller a doll with that the girl play. She had given Helen Keller a doll after Helen played with it for a while. When she played with that doll for some time, her teacher spelled the word. Like we also play with the toys and we know to spell the word. Like we play with ball. So BALL, ball. That is the spelling of the toy. In the same way, when this Helen Keller was playing with that doll, her teacher, she spelled the word DOLL on her hand. Why she spelled it on her hand? Because she was blind, she could not see it, and she was deaf, she could not hear it. So to make her understand the spelling of that toy, she made that spelling on her hand so that she could feel it. This made Helen very interested and she found it very interesting and she tried to copy the action as well. Like her teacher, she showed her the spelling on her hand. She found it very interesting and even she tried to do the same. When she was successful in making the word correctly, like her teacher taught her, in the same way she even could repeat the action and she was successful in that. She rushed down to her mother and very quickly she ran to her mother and made the letters for doll, and she told her the letter of the doll. In the next few days, after that few days, she learned to spell many other words also. After that, she started learning many other words also. She also came to learn that everything around her had a name. Because before that she did not knew that the things around her got the name. As she was blind, she could not see it, and she was deaf, she could not hear it. But after that she learned that everything around us had its name. One day Helen was finding it difficult to understand that the doll she was playing with and the spelling DOLL were the same. because before this she did not knew that the things got the name, and then she was confused that the toy with what she was playing, that and the spelling what her teacher taught her, double L was the same thing. In anger, because of this frustration, she threw away her doll and she threw away that toy. So her teacher took her out in the warm sunshine. But her teacher understood her problem and she took her to the warm sunshine outside. When they crossed a water spout, in the picture you can see they are near a water spout. Her teacher placed her hands under the spout, and her teacher, she put Helen Keller's hand under this spout. As the cool stream gushed over one hand, as the water was cool, and when it was put on Helen's hand, she spelled into the other the word water, and then she told her about the other word water, first slowly, then quickly. Helen stood still with her whole attention fixed on the motions of her fingers, and she was experiencing the motion of the water. First it was slow and later it was quick, or it was fast. At that moment, Helen realized that water meant the wonderful cool something that was flowing over her hand, and in this way she understood that the thing which was falling on her hand, that is called water, and how she described water as a cool thing, something that flows over our hand, because she could not see it, so she has to learn it by feeling everything. As they returned to the house, everything that Helen touched seemed to have a name. Then after that she realized that everything she is touching in her house, it has its own name. On entering the house, she remembered the doll she had broken, and even she realized about the doll which she had broken in anger. She tried to pick up the pieces of those broken doll to put them together, but she could not do it. She was sad because she had broken the doll, for she realized what she had done, and for the first time she was sorry for her action, because she had broken that doll and she could not rejoin it with the pieces, so she was sad about her action. She learned many new words that same day, words like mother, father, sister, teacher, and many more. And that night, when she was lying on her bed, she could not remember the last time she was this happy. That day she was very, very happy because she has learned many new words on that same day. So even we should be happy every day by learning at least 5 words. If we will learn new 5 words, it will obviously going to help us. So this is the letter, or this is the lesson where Helen Keller got a teacher who became her guide. So in the same way, we also have to listen to our teachers and the things they teach us. So this is the lesson. You listen to the video carefully and then you read the lesson. Next time we will try to find out the answers of this. Till that time, be safe and be at home. Thank you. Take care.